Okay, welcome back everybody to another episode of our Shadowscape BECMI campaign. Now I had a good 14-hour shift today, so I'm a little out of it, mentally and physically. So this won't be a very long episode, but I was too eager to continue. I wanted to see what exactly will happen with our party as we just entered the outer wall of Shadowscape, the kingdom of Shadowscape. So I'm back to these character sheets just for more expansion. And for Ray, I'm always kind of jumping between methods of spells, casting magic in this game. So I did put back her magic missile on here. You might use it. Two, for our Oracle, I have the Mythic GM cheat sheet here. And I was thinking of actually using the Chaos Factor. Now, I think if you increase the Chaos Factor, it increases the likelihood of yes, kind of widens that window. So let's say we're at 6 because we are now inside, or we're about to enter the uh, castle or the outer walls. So I'm going to write down in our little uh, my tracking sheet here. We will enter, but there's that guard who is dead. He was left for dead. And I was thinking on my way home today how each character of our party would react. We have Wolf here. He is lawful. So, Wolf, being a lawful, heroic character, would probably check to see if the guard is, if his eyes are open. He would do this, properly close his eyes, and obviously not shed a tear, but he's upset. He's wondering who caused this, who killed this guard. So Wolf would probably walk by. He would do this with his eyes, check to see if his eyes are open, kind of give him, and then Ray La, neutral, probably wouldn't really notice, wouldn't care that much. So she would walk by as they enter the exterior wall door. Garlax, remember, we can't forget the fact that dwarfs are not exactly welcome, apparently, in Shadowscape, and we will explore that most likely with his origin quest, which will help us build these characters up. I'm hoping it builds them up. Garlax will probably stop for a moment. He is lawful, but considering what he heard about how dwarfs are treated here as second rate or second class citizens, if there are any, he probably stops. He looks at the dead guard and continues on. So kind of an in between what how Rayla and Wolf responded. So they enter the first room of this side entrance. Let's figure out what exactly they're walking into. Like, what exactly is this side entrance going? I was thinking, conceptualizing that this was like an armory or a weapons depot armory or a barracks of sorts for the guards of the kingdom, or some kind of passage that's obviously guarded 24/7. So the chaos factor I will write here is 6. Chaos factor 6. So CF6. And we're going to see we can ask the question, is this room a passageway to something? So is this entrance a passageway? So I'm thinking likely, so 75 or less is a guess. That's going to be um, 83. That's a no. So it is not a passageway. Well, let's figure out what we're looking at here. Let's get the meaning table here. I'm going to roll D100, or yeah, percentile 72. Pursue. Okay, this might represent what our characters need to do. Pursue strength. So, okay, this represents pursue strength. I'm gonna write this down. So this represents what Wolf wants to do. He's still itching from earlier, much earlier in our campaign. I think it was roughly around this area here where we lost a character due to death, and then one of our theists, if I remember his name correctly. Um, let's retrace our steps here. Theus was doubting Wolf's leadership, so he sees this as an opportunity to prove himself to the small party we have, to prove himself to Rayla and to Garlax that he is a leader and he can avenge the death of this guard. So he wants to find the killer who murdered this guard, just doing his job, standing posts. But what needs to be done is how this guard was killed. That might give us a hint, a tip on who killed this guard. Was it a beast? Was it a bandit? Was it a goblin? Was a sword used? Was an arrow used? Was it magic? So I'm going to think of a slight step back here because our team, I think Rayla, Wolf is just he's too focused on finding out who killed without examining the body. So I did mention earlier that Rayla kind of ignored it, but let's step back. Let's step that back here. She does have some level of respect for Wolf. Just, she's along for the ride here. We're going to develop the backstory as to why she's even bothering being in the party, even though she's a neutral character. There is some connection here between her and Wolf. The fact she has patience and she's been on this adventure since Dark Hollow, retrieving the Firestone, which, again, they are steps away from returning it to the king because it belongs to him, the king of Shadowscape. This stone belongs to him. So they're moments away from returning the item, but they have this possible side quest. Or this, it could be a main plot line. This could be a main thread. We don't know yet. We're trying to figure that out. But Rayla is going to do a very brief investigation into the method of death here, how this guard was killed. So, looking at her skills, nothing really of relevance. Perhaps she has, she can wield spells, but I'm going to say that this death was by physical means, not magic. So let's figure out her, if we will use either intelligence or wisdom here. I'm going to use wisdom as she investigates. Roll a d20 here. 18 is a fail. She can't figure it out. So, but as the audience, let's figure out how. Let me move this over a bit just so I can get this. There we go. That's better. This camera's jib is kind of in the way of rolling dice. So how was this guard killed? Let's roll in the meanings table. 76, 79. Return. Okay. 7. Return battle. Okay, so he got into a fight with someone. Return battle, meaning he obviously returned the favor after possibly being struck. So uh, pursue strength. We have to remember that that is more relevant for Wolf to prove himself, to prove his strength and leadership qualities in front of his team. And then now we have this where the guard, the dead guard, as we know, as the GM knows, sorry, the DM knows that the dead guard was got into a scuffle or a very brief encounter with someone. And that's obvious, but I'm going to say it was a dagger. It was a stab to the gut, and he was stabbed to death. So, stabbed with a dagger. But Rayla missed that. She didn't. Perhaps she was. They don't want to stick around too long around his dead body. She's following Wolf in, and she did a brief look at the body. Didn't see the dagger wound, perhaps, which is unusual for an elf to miss that. So let's. We're still on tile W14. Just to recap the location where we left off. And I have a feeling we're going to be in that tile for some time. Running out of space here on my table. One downside of having this very small table, I wish I had a bigger studio for these videos, and that's obviously a wish I want to, that's something my goal in the future is to make enough money. I can get a actual big tabletop to do these videos for you guys. So, because it's very, very aggravating that I don't have enough space to track all these notes and these documents, because I'm trying to stick to playing with traditional methods here. But in any event, we enter this first room, and it's not a passage, it's an actual room. There is going to be, I'm thinking, looted items. There is empty cases. It appears to be a 5x5, or I'm sorry, let's say it's a armory. So I'm thinking, just like from before, we're currently in an armory, a room that had weapons, shields, items, armor, weapons, inventory, equipment for the guard, for the city's guard. And it's been looted completely. So there's a locked door near the opposite side, on the opposite end of where they entered. And they're looking around, seeing that there is some cases and chests opened, broken into, with the locks broken on the ground, and everything is gone. There's nothing left over for our team to take for themselves. Wolf is very aggravated. He says this was obviously a theft, and most likely bandits did this. That's what he's thinking. He's telling the team that this looks like the work of bandits. So he's going to investigate. He's going to try to find a clue, if anything. Let's go back, going back to his wisdom. And I'm thinking it's going to be D20. I'd say because he is so intensely focused and on a path to redemption to an extent for his kind of self-imposed trials here, I will give him an advantage. So I'll roll 2d20, and the lowest roll is the result. We're rolling wisdom, so 13 or less. So let's make this happen here. 11, which is a success. So he notices the following. Let's put these d20s aside, and let's bring out the GM sheet. He notices the following. 28. Defend 52. Legal. Okay, that gives me potentially some ideas here. So Wolf investigates, and finds defend legal. Well, this is most likely the. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Legal implications. Somebody who he's thinking that he looks at the main door. It was not broken into. The keyhole to the door from the exterior behind the guard was not broken or picked. It was used with a key. So I think that whoever broke in here weren't bandits, but someone of the city, of the kingdom. Someone actually broke in here who is a public official or has some kind of governing position that robbed, stole all of the merchandise from this armory for some reason. And Wolf notices that um, useless items were left. Only the most valuable items were stolen. So swords, the very shiny, clean swords, shields, armor, useful potions and elixirs, etc. But he finds like this. What I rolled, defend legal. I'm trying to think if that's a document was left behind. So it could be a letter, could be a parchment, but I don't think whoever was robbing this area would have been careless to just drop something, unless they were in a hurry. Maybe they were in a hurry. So let me write this down because that's actually a good some good story building here. So that I'm gonna put a star here. A public official robbed this armory and killed the guard in doing so. Maybe he was in a hurry and tried to first speak to the guard, which led to the guard doubting his reason for being there. Whoever this guy was inquiring about entering the armory to get something, and the guard said no. And so this individual was obviously not going to take no for an answer, stabbed the guard to death several times, or at least once or twice in vital spots, vital organs, and then took his keys. Oh, the keys, that's right. So, Wolf. So basically, Rayla is actually being she's being somewhat annoying and actually looking for items to steal. And Wolf tells her, "Stop it! We should not be doing this right now. We need to find out who did this." Wolf says he has some ideas. Garlax is kind of remaining silent, looking around. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do too much at the moment for some reason. And so Wolf realizes he looks back at the guard to see if the guard has a large key ring with like a bunch of keys, so a circular key ring with a bunch of like different door keys on it, and it's missing. So the guard does not have his keys. Write that down. Does not have his keys. I should say key ring, which is a good thing to point out because the keys are now gone and can be something to be looked for when trying to find the individual who killed this guard who took all the inventory. Now, this had to be a multiple person job, multiple people, individuals, because all the stuff taken is definitely would require a wagon or some wheels of sorts. And so Wolf looks around. He's thinking, well, this could have been multiple people, or this could have been wheeled out of here. And let's ask the Oracle. Was a wagon used, perhaps taken from inside the armory? There was some wheels, and was a wagon used? I'm going to say very likely. Oh my gosh, that is really going 28. That's obviously a yes. So that's not a strong yes. That's just a standard yes. So he sees wheel tracks going from the entrance. It's obviously going to be cobblestone flooring, perhaps a trail of dirt, and he sees a wagon wheel, a single wagon wheel going out the door. So a wagon was used was used to haul all of the stuff out of here in his tracks. And Wolf notices the tracks. Um, Garlax walks up. He steps outside. So the three are outside now, and they're worried that someone's going to come by and think that they did it. So when they leave, we're going to do a perception check, which would be wisdom for this matter, all three of them. So what I'll do is roll a d20. Uh, the red will be Garlax. The other two is Wolf and Rayla. So critical fail. Garlax is distracted by something. Maybe he's looking at the floor, the design of the flooring. Rayla got, I'll say, 5 or 3 is obviously success for both of them. So Rayla and Wolf both notice the following, and I'm going to be using this a lot. They notice this is like an instance. 8 attack. Okay, this is probably going the way I thought it was. Attack 36. Goal. Attack goal. Maybe just the fact that Wolf. Okay, so here we go. Here's what I'm thinking. Um, so Wolf, Rayla, I'm going to say it was a wisdom check of sorts, and I rolled attack goal. They both have a mutual agreement on she is now agreeing to help, like fully devoted. Because here's why. So Wolf explains to her that he thinks someone knew about this place beforehand, had insider information that this was an armory. It wasn't just a random door. The guard here was obviously posted. There was guards here, probably changing shifts every 8 hours or so. And that they took the key ring, they knew what to grab, they knew what to leave, and there's nothing of value left behind. So that someone has to be working for the kingdom, the king's guard of sorts, or any governing position, and stole all the stuff of the wagon. Rayla says we can use this to our advantage. She mentioned something selfish, like a bit greedy, but in turn, it would give them more reward. So if they bring this up to the king, saying that they believe they stumbled upon the guard, Rayla's saying this. She says, if we mention this to the king after returning to Firestone, we probably can get more work. Wolf says, well, we are entrusted by the king to, to do after retrieving the Firestone, so he does have some trust in them. We're not just some random party of people who say, hey, we found a dead guard at the armory, and then they'll get accused for it. So Wolf agrees that they have a built reputation now with the return to Firestone, and said they took a shortcut and they found the guard dead. They think it was an inside job. So they have this mutual agreement in line with Rayla's greed, her taste for more gold, but also because in line with Wolf's goal to help the king and figure out who killed this guard. Because Wolf is not a fan of seeing any governing position, any guard who's doing their job for a king be killed. So Wolf wants to find the killer, and then Rayla, I'll write down, wants to work with Wolf as they get more work, as this could lead to more gold, as this could lead, I should say, to more quests or more jobs. So they agree on the idea. Now Garlax is along for the ride. I'm trying to think what Garlax would be doing right here at this moment while these two are conversing. Garlax would probably be just standing there on the side, keeping a lookout. Yeah, I think he's just doing that. So Garlax is on lookout. So we know I will give XP um, to both Wolf, so not a lot, just 5. I'll say 5, and Raylo will get 5 for this uh, slight team effort and reaching a goal, an end goal for them to work together. So, slight recap here, because like I said, this episode will be short. Um, they find this broken into armory. The guard's dead. They Wolf believes it's a someone who works within the walls of the kingdom who did this because they knew what to take. They had the keys now. Their wagon is a clue to track the wheels of the wagon. Garlax is on lookout, and Wolf and Rayla, who don't always, I'm assuming, see eye to eye, have a mutual agreement because it can lead to more work, and that's pretty much what they do for a living. They're adventurers, and they need work to sustain a living. So that's that. I'm gonna leave. This was not very an eventful episode, but I was more interested in seeing how these three would react to the death of a guard because this sets up an ethical code for them and can further help the role playing experience. So uh, I do apologize. This was such a short episode, but I am just butched. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you are enjoying because I certainly am as these episodes fan out and we develop the uh, character backstories coming forward. Now, I'm seeing this currently now as Wolf's quest, trying kind of a transition of his quest, becoming he'll have the first quest here because of this death of the guard. This could be his story. This could tie some connections with him. What he has, if he has any connections to Shadowscape. I'm thinking like maybe he used to work for the guard for Shadowscape, perhaps. Rayla, we will get to her eventually, and then Garlax because of this stronghold up here, this stronghold here. But yeah, overall, we're definitely working towards Wolf's quest first, as it makes sense because we are in a kingdom. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.